Empires don't fall from wars alone. We often think of history as a grand stage for pharaohs, priests, and generals. We see their monuments, their tombs, their golden masks, but beneath the surface, away from the grand temples and royal courts, an entire civilization was kept alive by hands that history rarely remembers. These weren't the pyramid builders or the chariot warriors. These were the invisible workers, the human machinery that powered one of the greatest empires the world has ever known. So, what happens when the people no one notices simply stop? Let's travel back to ancient Egypt, not to the throne room, but to the dusty streets and bustling riverbanks, to uncover the forgotten jobs that truly built an empire. Imagine waking up before the sun even kisses the horizon. Your day doesn't begin with prayers in a temple, but with a heavy wooden yoke across your shoulders. You are a water carrier. The Nile is the lifeblood of Egypt, but it doesn't just flow into every home. Your job is to haul it, pot by heavy clay pot, from the river's edge to the kitchens, the workshops, and the construction sites. Your muscles ache, your feet are caked in mud, but you keep moving. Without you, the baker can't make bread. The brickmaker's clay will crack, and the city will slowly, surely, die of thirst. It's not glorious, there are no statues of you, but your every step is a heartbeat for the community. Nearby in a shaded courtyard, sits another crucial figure, the grain measurer. Egypt's wealth wasn't gold, it was grain. It was the currency, the food, the very foundation of the economy. As farmers bring their harvest to the state granaries, your role is paramount. Using a standardized wooden scoop, you meticulously measure every single portion. You are the ancient world's accountant and quality control expert, all in one. Your counts determine a farmer's taxes, the rations for soldiers, and the bread supply for the entire city. Your hands, dusty with barley and wheat, hold the economic stability of the kingdom. You are the silent guardian of the nation's food supply. Now, let's go inside, away from the sun's glare, into a dimly lit office filled with papyrus scrolls. Here, the record keepers, or scribes, are at work. But we're not talking about the high-ranking scribes composing hymns to the gods. We're talking about the administrative clerks, the ones documenting every detail of daily life. They note down every sack of grain measured, every pot of water delivered, every order dispatched from a workshop. Their reed pens fly across the papyrus, creating a vast, intricate network of data. Without their meticulous records, the entire state apparatus would collapse into confusion. They are the memory of the empire, the human database that allows a complex society to function. Finally, picture a young man, lean and swift, running along the dusty roads that snake through the land. He's not an athlete training for a festival, he is a royal messenger. In an age without modern communication, he is the kingdom's nervous system. He carries decrees from the capital, urgent military orders to the frontier, and vital administrative messages between regional governors. He runs for days, facing harsh sun, desert bandits, and exhaustion. The fate of a battle or the prevention of a famine might depend entirely on his speed and endurance. He carries not just a rolled-up piece of papyrus, but the very will of the state. The pressure on these workers was immense, and the margin for error was razor-thin. A water carrier who falters means a family goes without water for cooking and cleaning, increasing the risk of disease. A small miscalculation by the grain measurer could have a devastating ripple effect. If he overmeasures taxes, a farmer's family could starve. If he undermeasures rations for a building project, the work grinds to a halt. A single misplaced decimal in a scribe's ledger could lead to a supply chain breaking down, leaving a town without essential goods. Imagine the chaos if a scribe misrecorded the amount of grain stored in a silo. A governor might promise food that isn't there, leading to civil unrest and panic when the stores are found empty. The entire system was built on trust and precision. And what about the messenger? A message delayed could mean a border outpost is overrun before reinforcements arrive. A garbled instruction could send vital supplies to the wrong place, wasting precious resources and time. These weren't just simple jobs, they were high-stakes responsibilities where a single mistake could lead to hunger, chaos, or even death. The lives of thousands rested on their shoulders every single day. They didn't have the luxury of a bad day at the office. Their office was the entire kingdom, and their performance directly impacted its survival. They were the gears in a massive, complex machine, and if one gear failed, the entire engine could seize. So, why did they matter so profoundly? Because they were the foundation. Think of ancient Egypt as a magnificent tree. The pharaoh and the gods might be the highest branches, reaching for the heavens. The military might be the strong trunk. But the water carriers, the grain measurers, the record keepers, and the messengers, they were the roots. Hidden underground, and seen and celebrated, but drawing up the nutrients and water that allowed the entire tree to live and grow. Without the constant flow of water from the carriers, the civilization would wither. Without the precise accounting of grain, the economy would starve. Without the detailed records of the scribes, the government would be blind and deaf. Without the swift feet of the messengers, the kingdom would be paralyzed, unable to react to threats or manage its own territory. These rules reveal a crucial truth about history. Civilizations aren't just built, they are maintained. Day after day, year after year. The grandeur of the temples and the might of their armies were only possible because of this relentless and glamorous daily work. It's easy to focus on the spectacular moments, the battles, the coronations, the construction of monumental tombs. But the true strength of Egypt, its incredible longevity for 3,000 years, wasn't just in those peak moments. It was in the resilience of its systems, and those systems were powered by ordinary people doing their jobs with diligence and pride. They were the connective tissue, the lifeblood, the silent engine that propelled a civilization forward. History remembers kings, queens, and conquerors. Their names are carved in stone, their faces immortalized in gold. But a civilization is more than just its leaders. It's a complex ecosystem of people, all contributing, all playing a part. The true legacy of ancient Egypt isn't just found in the pyramids or the Valley of the Kings. It's in the faint traces of the irrigation ditches dug by farmers, the worn pots of the water carriers, the endless columns of numbers on a papyrus scroll, and the sheer human effort that sustained an empire for millennia. Civilizations don't survive because of their great leaders alone. They survive because of their workers. The ones whose names we will never know, but whose work built our world. Thank you for watching. If you found this journey into the hidden side of history interesting, please consider liking this video and subscribing for more stories that you won't find in the textbooks. See you next time.